Well, a good pitching performance from Eli Kraus caps with a 4-1 win for the Bourne Braves here at Dorn Park. I'm Blaine McCormick, joined along by Justin Galanti and Kyle Kercheval in for Tomahawk Talk. We got to talk about Eli for this one. He comes back after having an injury to his hand, and he does a really good pitching performance today. What did you think of him on the mound?
Well, I thought Kraus was great. He threw a lot of strikes, induced a ton of weak contact, and really picked up where he left off after leaving with the injury about 3 weeks ago. In his first two starts, he was clearly one of the best starters for the Braves, and he was great again tonight. It's huge for this team to have him back in the rotation. And now the last 3 games, they've had Hess, Eichhorn, and now Kraus pitched 3 straight really good performances, I guess, or have 3 really good performances. And it's huge for this team because we've seen this season, on the whole, good starting pitching performances equal victories, and that's what they got again tonight.
Now, before the game, we caught up with our all-stars selected from today. We had Zach Susi on, as well as Ryan Feltner, Luis Alvarado, and Grant Williams. We saw Grant really put out a good offensive performance today, and he's been doing that all season long, just pestering hit after hit after hit. What did you think of his performance today for the All-Star?
Well, he finds a way to get on base almost every time, it seems like. He's tied with Witherspoon for the team lead in walks. He's leading the team in average right now. He always just seems to make good contact, and that's, or not even if it's not great contact, he makes contact, and that's something that we've talked about countless times here on the broadcast, on Tomahawk Talk. Situations where the Braves simply need to put the ball in play, and having a guy like him at the start of the order who's able to reach sometimes on infield hits because he's got speed, to be able to get down in a 2-strike count but still find a way to come through a hit, that's huge. So I thought he was excellent today, as he's been throughout the entire season, and he's absolutely deserving of an all-star appearance.
Now, continuing our all-star discussion, we saw Ryan Feltner come into the game, and we've seen him strike people out from time to time. He didn't do that today, but he did induce a double play that was able to end the game for the Braves. How did you feel about his performance, and is he worthy of that all-star spot?
Well, I think he's 1,000% worthy of the all-star spot. He hasn't given up an earned run yet this season. And the thing that really shows how good a pitcher can be is when you can pitch well when you don't have your A stuff. And I think the last 2 times he's been on the mound, Ryan Feltner hasn't quite had his A stuff, but he's still gotten the job done. Got the win a few nights ago against Wareham, and tonight gets the ground ball to get the Braves out of the 9th inning. So yes, 1,000% deserves to be an all-star. And other than that, he's been great all season.
Another all-star with us right now, Grant Williams. How you doing, man? All right, good talk.
Great appearance.
Good luck in Wareham. Anyways, I got us frazzled. Anyways, discussing more about this Bourne team, it seemed as though the offense really picked up for them this time around, and they induced 8 hits, got 4 runs across the plate. And it seems as though that wasn't a trend as of lately, but they were able to rebound after last night's extra inning loss.
Yeah, they were able to score 3 times in 3 innings. So that's something I talked with Justin about on the broadcast. This Braves team usually has 1 or 2 innings where they're able to put together some offense. But other than that, usually it's pretty inconsistent, and it's kind of that, 2nd inning, 8th inning boost. That's it. We've seen the Braves come through with a couple walk-offs here and there, so they've been able to produce at times. But tonight they were able to get their starter, Eli Kraus, a nice little cushion for his start. Were able to put up runs in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd inning, and really that's all they needed tonight. So when you have the bullpen that the Braves have, sometimes you can afford to do that, but really you're not able to do that unless the pitching performances are as good as they were tonight to shut down a Falmouth offense that has, all the firepower potential in the world. So the offense tonight was able to get it done when they needed it. They got that run in the 1st inning, which is huge. Schreiber leads the team in RBIs for a reason. Anytime you can get first run in the bottom of the 1st, you'll take it, and typically that can start things going in the right direction.
Well, because of Kraus's performance from today, he's going to take my player of the game spot. You come back from an injury like that, especially to your hand, and as a pitcher, that's tough to recover from. But it was a fast recovery for him, and he pitched a great outing today. So he gets my player of the game.
I agree with you. Eli Kraus, outstanding on the mound, pitches the Braves back into 1st place in the West Division.
I'm going to give a tip of the cap to Richie Palacios tonight. I thought he did an excellent job. I love when he hits at the bottom of the order because he really provides a spark plug to produce some offense for this top of the lineup, which we've talked about, that they're so much better when there's guys on base in front of them. So tip of the cap to him. Player of the game has to go to Eli Kraus. An excellent performance from him tonight, doing it in typical Eli Kraus fashion, throws a lot of strikes, and it's him and Eichhorn that are able to work the outs without using the strikeouts. So got to give it to him, especially coming back off an injury. Didn't miss a beat.
And speaking of Eli Kraus, we actually have him on set right now, so might as well come on in.
Yeah.
How you doing? How's the arm?
Arm felt good. I kept it pretty fresh when I went home and tried to get my fingers as healthy as possible. I was supposed to scoot over.
Yeah, I read it.
But it was a bit of a a little bump in the road. I mean, it's tough when your fingers are messed up because you can't do anything with lifting or throwing or whatever it was. So I made sure to really pay attention to my rehab and try to get the arm to where it was. I was able to throw 90+ pitches today. So
what was the process coming back from that? Because when we saw you last time when it hit you, it seemed as though that your hand was pretty swollen.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was literally out to here for. Even when I went home, I mean, a couple days after that, it was still swollen. But the rehab was a couple hours a day, 2 times a day, something like that. Just trying to get the swelling to shrink. I couldn't do anything until the swelling was gone, so I had to wait that out a little bit. But once that was good, it was just a matter of getting my arm back into shape within about a week and a half.
Eli, it's really uncommon for guys to leave the Cape and then come back later on. It's especially more uncommon to leave and come back and put together the performance that you were able to put together tonight.
Thank you,
what was the key for you? Because it really looked like as soon as you stepped out on the mound today, you had your release point. You looked pretty confident. You were throwing strikes left and right. How are you able to make that transition from being down for not quite a month, but for a decent amount of time, but to be able to come back into the middle of a season and perform like you did?
A lot of it was just kind of on the mental side, but I just hate not playing baseball. The off season is a brutal time because there's no baseball. So when I was sent home, I mean, playing that in the Cape Cod is just a tremendous opportunity. So when I was at home, I was sitting there thinking, man, what am I doing? Like, I need to be out there. I need to be playing baseball. I need to be not at home, sitting around. So it was a lot of my focus obviously went into my bullpens when I would throw, but I focused on my arm care a lot because it's something that if you lose it, you could be out for another couple weeks with, sore elbow or whatever it is. So I was really motivated to get back to baseball and not waste any more time.
Now, first question, this is, obviously a serious one. Did you miss us as much as we missed you?
I was telling him I was so bored, and I was sitting there like, man, why am I not like, this team's awesome. It's fun to play for, the coaches and with these players. And I was just like, man, this is so boring. I want to get back. So, I did. I missed you guys.
Well, that's good. Now, really, it's obviously not a good thing to get hurt, but you missed about 3 starts because of the injury, and you threw a lot this year at Kent State. But now missing the 3 starts, it kind of sets you up to be here through a full playoff run. Is that something that excites you?
Yeah, I mean, my focus, regardless, I think, was to try to stay all summer. I know I was at about 100 innings coming in, but like I said, I get so bored not playing baseball, and I take a lot of pride in my arm care. So my goal, obviously, was to stay the whole summer. But now with the setback, I'm, fortunately able to stay all summer and not have to worry too much about innings and pitches. So, yeah, I'm pumped to hopefully ride into playoffs with these guys and make some noise.
Last question for you, and then we'll send you on your way. Every pitcher has their tendencies on the mound, and every pitcher has their tendencies before the game. Do you have a specific pregame ritual that you do before you go out on the mound?
I do. Like most pitchers, I do. I've been a little bit, I don't want to say lazy on it, but changing from season to season is, spring season to summer season, your workload's a little bit different, so it changes. But to give you a rundown of what my day is like, my day on pitch day is pretty hectic. I get up at really whatever the time the sun's poking through my room, and very specific about what I eat. Try to eat a 4-egg omelet, and if I break shells in the bowl, I scratch it and I start again. So you run through a ton of cartons doing that. And, I try not to use my left hand, whether it's brushing my teeth or putting on deodorant or whatever it is, until game time, and listen to a lot of John Mayer. You'd be surprised, like 3 hours of John Mayer nonstop. Most people get put to sleep, but it just calms me down, calms the nerves, and then you get to the stadium and you start working. But I'm very, very particular about, I swear, especially in spring ball when the bus leaves, the same song every time. It's called Covered in Rain. It's a live version. It's 10 minutes long, and I listen to it as soon as the bus moves like an inch. As soon as it starts moving, that song goes on. So that, and then it's just all John Mayer. If you could get him to come out to a Bourne game, that'd be.
We'll try.
We'll let it be known that John Mayer.
Post this everywhere and then try to get it. I'm waiting for you, John.
You have an open invitation to come to Bourne.
Come to Bourne. We'll hang out, man.
Well, Eli, thanks for coming on the show today. Great performance.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks so much.
And we'd like to thank all of our viewers for listening into Tomahawk Talk today. Bourne will take on the Chatham Anglers, the ones that they lost to last night in extra innings, but this game will be played at Veterans Field in Chatham, so they'll make the long journey over there. You can catch these guys on the broadcast, and make sure to tune in for our pregame interviews and also Tomahawk Talk for tomorrow night. He's Justin Galanti. He's Kyle Kercheval. I'm Blaine McCormick. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great evening.